We are the Dutch Hall, everybody. Welcome to the pool shed on this Thursday evening. It's a lonely one. We're kind of being good, little COVID people staying away from each other in the shed. It's just a lonely night here in the hall with me and my buddy Kevin Van Dungen. And we got a great show for you tonight. I'm really excited about it. I actually wrote some jokes for the first time in a long time. And we're going to do those jokes. And then Kevin and I are probably going to talk about some bar fights.
Sounds good.
I started thinking about bar fights, you know, just the amount of violence that we saw in our lifetime compared to, like, what my kids see.
I imagine there's a lot of fights going on now.
Yeah, like, I don't think they see nearly what we saw in the form of carnage. And now with the whole COVID thing, I think if there is any young people listening to this, they might just forget what it's like to go to a bar at all. And so telling some old getting pissed up at a bar stories where we, you know, some people get punched in the face. I think that's going to be a nice night out for us tonight.
I'd take that right now at my age.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to go out and just
somebody punch me in the face?
Get in a little mixer, come home with the shiner.
Yeah. What happened? I'm alive. That's what happened, baby.
That's right. I lived a bit of fucking life for once, right? But let's get our ads out of the way for this show, so that way we don't have to do these things anymore. Our ads, our show is actually starting to get a little bit of money come in, eh?
Ooh,
little cake, a little cheddar.
I wish I could drool right now.
I've been watching too much Chip Chipperson there. But we do have a few things that are going right for the show. We finally kind of got our act together. We have a Patreon now up. We have one Patreon supporter.
Oh, what an amazing woman she is.
Yeah, she's our queen right now. She basically runs the show here, Jen Husko. She's our one Patreon shareholder, the real one.
God bless her.
You know, we have Diamond Club members like Lori Ball and Emil Van Steeg, you know?
Oh, the Aussie.
Yeah, and we have, but then they're special to us. Mm-hmm. But this is a woman that actually pays us money on a monthly basis, you know, on Patreon. And I really want to figure out ways to treat our Patreon listeners. So I have a video. We already said we're going to get the hot tub video. Charters is dead set against it.
Wow.
We're working on compromises. But I did think of another treat for Patreon listeners.
Do tell.
And it will be out this week. It is... one is a piece of Dutch Hall history that you can find online. Mm-hmm. It's from an episode called The Gentle Pervert. Ooh, if you've ever seen that episode. It's actually, we have one kind of viral video from Dutch Hall. Mm-hmm. It's Cockholding is Cool, according to CNN, I think is what it's called. And it gets just pervs listen to it. Like pervs like watch it by mistake.
Oh, they think they're getting something that they're not.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, it's got a few thousand or whatever. It's got like 5,000 or 6,000 or something. And that one's from the Gentle Pervert episode. But why that episode is historic is because at the very end of the episode, we have one of two times in Dutch Hall history that someone has puked on our show.
Oh, good.
And this is the only time that it was done in the video era of the show.
Oh.
So it's the only video evidence of the puke that we've had. The first one was just an audio puke. Mm-hmm. People in the room saw the spaghetti coming out the nose, but no one is able to see that.
It's like the Loch Ness Monster.
Right. You can only, through fable and through tale alone, will you hear about the first puke. But the second puke is on the Gentle Pervert, and I'm going to, I'm currently editing that clip of the second puke, and the reactions of Tyler Shazma and my brother Paul. And we will have that out, and it'll just be exclusively for Patreon members.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that should be out this week. So, Jen, you'll be getting access to the puke. Now, hopefully you'll like it.
An added bonus.
Yeah, it's an added bonus, you know. And I'm sure the person that did the puke, who will remain nameless.
Okay.
Because I don't want to bring attention to the poor lady, you know.
Oh, it's a lady.
It's a lady. Yeah, both pukes have been ladies.
Classy lady.
Yeah, people that say we don't have women on this show, we've had two that puked. I mean,
I think you're all about it.
I mean, we are all about it. We've never turned down a woman, I'll tell you that.
No, well, why would they want to be here is the real question.
That is the question, always. Yeah. We're due for another ladies' night. We did one ladies' night where it was all ladies and me. Mm-hmm. I think we can give you a pass, Kev.
I could be a lady?
No, you could come in. It would be like me, you, and a bunch of lady guests.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. So Patreon. You go to patreon.com/Dutch Hall. That's let me just put that one up there. That's patreon.com/Dutch Hall, and you can see all the different tiers and how you can sponsor our show. And the other way that we're helping to finance this show is through sponsorship. And we have a sponsor of this program called BetterHelp. Do you have anything that's like preventing you from interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your personal goals, Kevin?
There's some things, I'm sure.
Well, there's always something in someone's life. I know right now with the pandemic and with just a lot of the isolation that happens from this sort of stuff, just looking at the same shit over and over and over again, like the same scenery, the same fucking four walls, same people. It's just not right. It's not human. It's tough for anyone to get through. Everyone's going through their own unique personal brand of something they never thought they'd ever have to go through. And if you're struggling with that, there's help out there. And one of the ways you can get help is through BetterHelp. BetterHelp is not a crisis counselor. It's not a self-help line. It's professional counseling done securely online. It's a lot cheaper even than traditional offline counseling. And most of the time with offline counseling, especially if you're in a rural area, you're doing that stuff via like Zoom or something like that. And I'll tell you, from a guy that uses traditional offline counseling, it is significantly more expensive than what BetterHelp is. I'm really happy with the service you got. They will get a counselor that will call you within 48 hours. And in my experience, when we used the service, it was about 24 hours later we had contact with the therapist and scheduled something within a week, that we were able to talk to someone. So I couldn't be happier with the service. It's let me see here. It's available for clients worldwide. So no matter where you are in the world, you can use the service. And what else? Oh, and a special offer for Dutch Hall customers, for Dutch Hall listeners, you can get 10% off. Oh, let me put my BetterHelp on there. You can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Dutch Hall. That's betterhelp.com/Dutch Hall. BetterHelp is a sponsor of this program, and we appreciate them for it. And then also Amazon. You can go to Live from Dutch Hall's website. You can find our Amazon banner. And if you click on the Amazon banner, you can do some of your shopping like you normally would do for that company. And a little bit of that money would not go to make that rich guy even richer. A little bit of that money would come and help pay for some stuff for the show. And that's it for sponsors. Thank you for everybody who is supporting them. We got a good show, as I said. The only thing we got to do now is play the theme song, right, Kev?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh. 1 second.
What? Welcome, everybody.
That's a nice round of applause.
Thank you very much, Dave Robot. That's another person. Welcome to the Dutch Hall, everybody. I'm your host, Pete Van Dyke. Once again, we have my co-host and the all-star of Season 8 Al Column, Kevin Van Dungen is here. Let's hear it from him. Sitting to my side, quiet as always, and being a great friend, really. Robot Dave is here.
That's all he gets.
That's right. That's all he deserves. And I am your host and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke.
You get more.
We're gonna play this thing out. All right, and this is a great show, as I said before. I actually decided to write some jokes. You know, like my father-in-law, Kevin, my father-in-law, he knows what I do.
Mm-hmm.
He knows, he knows I'm a stand-up comedian. He knows I have a podcast, right? I'm not sure he knows what either of those things are.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
Probably better.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit better.
Yeah.
He's just from a different era. You know, he's just from a different era. The one thing that we always like to say, he had a heart surgery, and then he had to go work out as part of his regimen of getting better. He had to do exercises, right? Mm-hmm. So he got a membership at this Y in Brantford or something, you know, and he couldn't believe how big this place was, and he just thought it was great, you know. So he's showing all the machines, and he's showing pictures of this big place. He's showing him on the machines and stuff. And he's wearing blue jeans. He's working out on the.
That's all you need.
He's working on the machines. He's wearing blue jeans, and I'm with my kids, you know. And we say, my one daughter asked him, like, "You're wearing blue jeans working out, you know?" And he's like, "Yeah."
I would work in blue jeans.
What am I supposed to wear? My dress pants?
Right.
It's casual. I'm working out.
How can they be any worse than tights?
Yeah, it's just a different era, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he sends me jokes a lot because he thinks it'll help me out, you know?
Right.
And he tells jokes at the Hungarian Hall and stuff like that, and lays in the kitchen. They enjoy the jokes, and he sends them to me. And I appreciate reading them. I like old street jokes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But sometimes most of the time I don't find it to be usable because it's not my material and that sort of thing. But this one, he just sent me a bunch of facts, a bunch of did you know kind of facts, you know? So, and hold on a second.
That was for Lori.
I did it off mic because I didn't want to offend Lori, but the heat of it came after. Ooh.
What'd you
Taco
have?
night tonight. Taco night.
That's a good burp.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, I'm hoping that something similar to this, because I enjoyed it. He gave me all these did you know facts. I wrote a bunch of jokes. I just wrote them out like fast. I didn't really like rewrite very much, but it was a real good exercise of writing jokes, like just jokes, you know? So some of them are going to be shit. I know that.
That's all right.
Some of them are going to be good. I hope people like them. I tested them on my wife, tested them on my daughter, and I think that there's some jokes here that are decent. Okay?
Good.
And I actually wrote a theme song for the segment.
You did?
Yeah. It's but I didn't record it, so I'm going to have to sing it. It goes like this. It goes, Pete's got jokes. Pete's got jokes. He wrote them, so he'll tell them. Pete's got jokes.
Pete's got jokes.
That's all it is.
Jokes.
So jokes. So these are all based on did you know facts from my father-in-law, okay?
All right.
So did you know, hold on, I want to get my microphone right for this.
I'm going to learn and laugh. I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. Did you know there is a road in France that can only be used twice a day for a few hours? Then it disappears under 13 feet of water. It is France's way of trying to get their men to wash. Did you know Germany has officially abolished college student tuition fees, even for international students? This sounds great, but it is Germany. I seem to remember them giving away free train rides not too long ago. Did you know currently India is the only country in the world confirmed to have both lions and tigers in its wilderness? Another reason to get the fuck out of India.
Just one of the many.
Yeah. Did you know about half of your body is bacteria? About half of your body is bacteria.
I did not.
I just went shopping at Walmart, and I think that number may be low.
I love them all so far.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this one because it's shit then.
Oh, come on.
No, I'll do it. It's a crappy one, though.
Do it.
The NSF estimated that our brains produce as many as 12,000 to 50,000 thoughts per day, depending on how deep a thinker you are. I'm definitely at the top end of this scale. I probably have 40 to 50,000 thoughts about old Happy Days episodes alone. Boo.
I'm at the lower end of that scale.
Really? You don't think that much, go?
I think that's why I'm laughing at everything.
Oh, maybe. Did you know that the banana is a happy fruit. I always thought that was Richard Simmons. Wait, no, that's not the joke.
Oh.
Banana is a happy fruit. Eating just one can help you relieve irritable emotions, anger, or depression. Women everywhere exclaim the same effect can be obtained by, instead of eating them, you shove them up your twat. That was my favorite.
I like it because it says twat.
I like the word twat, yeah. Did you know that hugs that last over 20 seconds release chemicals in your body called oxytocin that make you trust someone more? My friend Dave gave me a hug while I was going through a tough time. This is a true story.
Oh, okay.
My friend Dave gave me a hug one time when I was going through a tough time. And when we were hugging, he whispers in my ear, I heard we're supposed to do this till we touch candlesticks or it doesn't work.
Ooh.
That's a real story.
Wow.
It's not a joke.
Did it make you feel better, though?
Yeah, it made me laugh.
That's good.
It made
Tummy
me-
sticks.
Tummy sticks?
Yeah.
Is that what maybe he said tummy sticks? I don't know. I thought I heard candlesticks, but it was probably tummy sticks, wasn't it? Did you know without your pinky finger, your hand would lose 50% of its strength? Also, your wife would be more reluctant to you introducing butt play.
Yeah.
You don't start out with a thumb.
No.
Or
a fist.
No, that pinky's instrumental in just introducing the idea.
Yeah. Hey, if you can stand this.
Yeah. Did you know giraffes will spend about 70% of their day eating? I'm pretty sure my kids are giraffes. Yeah.
I have a giraffe too, then.
Yeah. Did you know cows have best friends and get stressed when they are separated? So do humans. All those lucky cows are hanging around with their buddies and no masks, like there's no pandemic even happening. Fucking cows.
No social distancing. Those fucks.
Yeah. This one I hate.
Read it.
Okay. Swans have only one partner for their whole life, and if their partner dies, they could pass away from a broken heart. Like, I'm a little worried about this whole thing because I am like the swan. You know, like I married my wife. She's my one and only, right? I'm monogamous. Yeah. I'm fitting the mold of a person that's going to die when she dies. I'm like going to be one of those people, like an old man that you hear the story that, oh, the woman dies and then the guy died a couple days later, broken heart.
Right.
And you're like, that'll be me because like I'm setting myself up for that because I love my wife so much.
Right.
So now I don't just have to worry about me dying. I got to worry about her dying because then that'll make me die.
Yeah, she can't die before you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It bothers me, the swan. Tough it up, man. Find another chick.
That's right.
Find another swan. Go date a duck.
Yeah. Mix race, mix whatever. Species, I guess.
This isn't even really a joke, but I just find it to be like a kind of a... This isn't a joke, but I like the fact here. Did you know that once a tractor company owner was insulted by the owner of Ferrari? Enzo Ferrari's words were, "You may be able to drive a tractor, but you will never be able to handle the Ferrari properly." Today, that tractor company is known as Lamborghini. Right? You don't fucking piss off a farmer, eh?
No, they'll fuck you.
Especially an Italian farmer. Those guys will be stubborn. They're going to prove you wrong. Those fuckers, eh? Anyways, no joke. I like that fact there. No joke. Did you know that some people have a natural alarm clock allowing them to wake up when they want? This is actually caused by a stress hormone. If someone could please get me a snooze button for my stress hormone, Papa needs some sleep. Hey, did you know that beer reduces Did you know that beer reduces the risk of developing kidney stones by 40%?
No kidding.
In a way more boring story, so does water.
Fucking water.
Yeah. Did you know that you can survive entirely on a diet of potatoes and butter, which will provide all the necessary nutrients the human body needs? You can also live on just tuna and mayonnaise. I learned that in university.
That's true.
And this is the last joke. Did you know that humans have more empathy for dogs than they do for other humans.
I believe this.
Proof of this is their reaction to you when you poop in the street.
That's true.
Anyways, those are jokes for this week, everyone. I hope you like them. Jokes.
Good stuff.
All right, I like it. It was fun, too, writing jokes.
Yeah.
I liked how I got to say that one about the twat, about shoving the banana in your twat. I wrote like that one a few times. And I wrote shove it in your twat, and then I crossed it out, wrote a couple other things.
Other words?
Other words, like if you insert it in your vagina.
Gosh.
You know, all those things. Had to go right back.
Twat was the word.
Instincts. Go with your instincts.
Mm-hmm.
Shove it in your twat. And not even just twat, but shove. I like the idea that shoved in the twat, you know? A little bit different. It's just one of those, like, I know Jen doesn't like us talking too much inside comedy, but, you know, shove in twat instead of, like, insert in vagina.
Yeah.
You know.
It just sounds too clinical.
Yeah. It's not funny. You don't laugh at insert.
No.
It's tab and or whatever. Anyway, so that's it for jokes.
That was a good segment.
Oh, thanks.
I wish I knew the song. Jokes, jokes. Pete's got jokes.
Yeah, he wrote them, so we'll tell him. Pete's got jokes.
Jokes.
That's it.
I
And
like it.
so we should just do a segment. We'll keep rolling on this program here. We're going to do a segment we call a feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback, everybody. This week's segment, it's brought to you by the same people that we opened the show with, BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/Dutch Hall. Patreon, support our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Dutch Hall. Or you can go to livefromthedutchhall.com, click on our Amazon banner, do your Amazon shopping. Those are 3 ways that you can help out our show. So thank you for those people that do it. And another way you can help out our show, if you don't do this already, is you can go to you can give me an email, livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com or thedutchhall@gmail.com, or you can go to Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever you want. Find me, tell me what you think of the show, and we'll read it on the air, and we'll do what you tell us sometimes, especially if you give us money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, last week, back to basics, the only piece of feedback we got, the only one,
Damn it.
the only one was from Michael Bowe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who said basically that he liked me, Beaver, and Kevin show
Mm-hmm.
a heck of a lot better than the one the week before with Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
I got fired.
when he tried to fire you, and it was like, and Michael was upset about it.
Yeah.
Okay, did you were on that? You read the same message, I think.
I read it, yeah.
And Michael was saying it was horseshit, and he didn't appreciate it one bit. And I'll tell you, if Dan Brennan was listening to this right now, he's going to be heartbroken
He'd feel shame.
because he's got a real boner for Mike, I think. Don't you think?
I think so, too.
Because he talks about him extensively for a long time, and he's got ideas about him. Like he's at home thinking about him, I think.
I think so. I get it. Mike's got a sweet, sweet voice. Good guy. But Mike did, as much I appreciate it, Mike did not stand for that firing.
No, he understood that that was out of line.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't like to pull this card very often,
Mm-hmm.
but this is live from the Dutch Hall,
Yeah. Your show.
And
Not live from the Irish Hall.
Yeah, not live from
Whatever
the
the fuck he is.
And your name's Van Dungeon and Michael Bowe.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are Dutch people. And you got an Irishman coming in here into the Dutch Hall,
Mm-hmm.
spouting off that he's going to fire a guy that's giving his heart and goddamn soul to the program.
Try my best.
God damn it! I don't agree with it one bit, Kevin. I don't agree with it. But we talked about that already. Michael, it was nice to hear him give us his support.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something else about Michael. I've been giving him a bit of shine on this show the last couple of weeks. But Michael will listen to the program and then tell me how it sounds, like if it's too quiet or too loud or whatever. And you know who else does that? Shit, he's probably watching now too.
Oh, my goodness.
There's an fucking
Bob, Paul, Dave.
I'm not going to say it wrong, because if I say his name wrong, that's worse than if I just don't say it at all.
So, what would his name sound like if you were saying it wrong?
No, I know his last name for sure, and his first name. There's a bunch of them, so I don't know which one. Which one for I don't want to get mixed up.
Let's give him a nickname right now.
I can't do it.
All
I can't do it because it'll give away. I don't want to give him away. But anyways, there's other people that do it, and they're really important. And believe me, I'm going to recognize them in future programs where I give them that. Because there's a bunch of these guys that are in the running for like Diamond Club, right? Like they're in the running.
There's another Diamond Club membership coming up.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. But we got like all-star listeners of this program that have done stuff. Like you talk about like a guy like how about like a guy like Bruce Veltri? Like that guy's constantly giving. Bonesy, he constantly gives us feedback. You got the kosher pork chop, you got Lee Wallace, like we're talking, and we got some real awesome. We have Bailey Adcock, like we're going down the list here.
These are like Hall of Fame listeners.
Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emma or Ella Steppa Jones.
You know what? I have never met Ella Steppa Jones, but I love the name.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you, and I would have swore she was Dutch forever, but it turns out Polish, and that's why she's got such a shine for charters. Yeah,
he likes it.
He likes everything Polish and Mexican.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. I wish, that he would have something to say.
You don't have a soft spot for Mexicans.
Oh, my goodness. Right out of nowhere.
Oh, man. I've been breaking down. I've been breaking down heavy, man. My body is like a fucking science experiment. I swear to God, I got fungus growing all over it.
You got lots going on.
Lots. I got to try to fix so many things at once.
Maybe one at a time.
Yeah, that's how it was. And you think you got one problem licked, and then you just got to get to the next one. Get to the next one. I had like when the doctor asked me how long you had these problems. I'm like 2 years. Why didn't you come up sooner? It's because I had to go about the other things. You say one thing at a time. I got to figure out which one I have to handle first.
You know what answer I don't like from the doctor anymore? This is just an age thing.
Have you got that?
Yeah, where they're kind of like, you're a little bit old to help.
You see, I got the opposite of that because they said to me, I go, I don't know. Oh, shit. I think it's just because of my cancer, but they say you got you got any problems? Like, you got any pain you live with? You got any you're tired? And they ask you those questions. I'm like, yeah, like I'm more tired than I was. I'm more aches and pains than I were. Like
right.
I'm getting older, And they said, yeah, but you're in good shape. You shouldn't feel like that at your age.
Are they trying to correlate it to the cancer?
Well, they don't. They have to just find like a normal. Like, right. Where's your normal spot? So because I ask them what is it supposed to do to me? Like, so I know what's the cancer and what's just getting old and what's something else, And they don't know.
Yeah, like a lot of these aches and pains just don't happen overnight. They just gradually come in. Suddenly your wrist is sore for some reason. You don't know why.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's like. It's just another sore thing after another, like one after another, and you don't know which is which. Like now, I'm getting physio for tennis elbow, which I had one forever, and then I got two.
Did you ever play tennis?
No, I didn't play tennis.
Ridiculous.
You think it's from beating off?
Possibly.
Because it could be from beating off.
Well, I probably have it then too.
You know who probably beats off a lot is Popeye.
Well, he's got those big forearms, and it ain't from cracking open cans of spinach.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he was really giving her a tug, because I think that's what all my exercises I got to do now is just like Popeye exercises to try to fix this fucking thing.
Olive Oil wasn't classically beautiful.
No, she was.
At least not in the cartoon.
She was ugly, but Popeye was ugly too. He had one eye that was like gouged out or something. Like,
a little hard to understand when he talks.
Yeah, he's like basically a blathering idiot, a blithering idiot, and
a sailor man.
Yeah, like they don't see a lot of women on the boats. They come home, olive oil's hot because they haven't seen any women. It's like if you work in the tobacco warehouse and someone's wife comes in to sell with them, and then every guy stops working just to check her out because there's no women that work there.
Sometimes when you work in a factory with ladies, they get better looking over time.
Yeah. It's true.
And men too. I'm sure ladies look at men over time and go, "Wow, that guy was a mutt."
It's true. If you ever go somewhere, like if you're, I remember like if you go like on a tour, like if you go to another country and you go on like a bus tour or something like that, and you get on the bus if you're a single guy,
right?
And you're looking on the bus, and you're going to be like touring for like 8 days on this bus with these people.
Yeah.
Chances of you fucking one of them or whatever, pretty good, because that's how it works. And that's kind of like what are we talking about? Because that's where that was my point. Because
it's kind of we're on Popeye for a bit there.
You just you look at what's around you, right? And then that's how you make your decision. It's like if there was like all hot chicks on the bus, you'd be like selective,
right?
You know. But then if it was all like a bunch of dumpy ones, you would pick the least dumpy one, you know?
Right. And I wonder if the competition from Brutus made olive oil look more attractive.
I wonder if that was even about olive oil at all, or if that was just between those two dudes, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
One wanted to one up the other guy.
Yeah.
But, like, if I was olive oil, Brutus at least looked normal.
Yeah, olive oil was a very skinny girl.
Yeah. Brutus would have looked like he would have broke her.
Brutus looked like he lifted a little bit of weights. Yeah, Brutus would have hurt.
But he's bigger, like he's giant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that cartoon was not my favorite.
No.
Mine was... By the way, I was going to do this with that French joke I wrote, but the Pepe Le Pew.
Right.
I never talked about this on the show. I want to talk about this because he was canceled a while ago because he was rapey or whatever. They said it's not good. And they already got rid of Speedy Gonzalez.
He was culturally appropriating.
Well, yeah, they felt it was
Spanish
like a bad Mexican stereotype that he was putting on because he was going
Andale, yipa, yipa.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you know, I think more offensive was his cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez.
I kind of forgot about that guy.
Remember Slowpoke Rodriguez?
My cousin was kind of a hero.
Yeah, Speedy was a hero, and I didn't see anything he did wrong. He was like, but anyways, they got rid of it because it was like a Mexican stereotype,
right?
And I don't know if the Mexicans were complaining or whatever, but they did decide that was wrong, and then later they decided Pepe Le Pew was wrong. And I'm like, oh, they're protecting the French. And there's like, no, they're protecting
women.
Well, women. And I'm like, what? The whole front, like the character of Pepe Le Pew is a smelly Frenchman.
Yes. I never thought about this like this.
Right?
Yep.
Pepe Le Pew is a French stereotype. So he's a smelly Frenchman. He's a skunk.
Arrogant.
He is rapey towards women because if you've ever been to France, and I don't know if it's still this way in France, but it was when I went there in the 90s, they are very rapey. The men are aggressive to women, and to the point where a North American man would be in a bar, and you would think that the women were being assaulted. And I did it. Me and my friend Mark were like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? Like, lay off the girl. And the girls had to say, like, no, this is just the way it is. They like corner you and push you against the wall, you know, and they get all like in
handsy,
yeah, like way too close,
right?
And women are just like have to like, you know, put up with it. And anyways, so I think the Americans, whoever were making the Looney Tunes, they invented Pepe Le Pew to make fun of the French. To say they're rapey to women and they smell.
Well, yeah, and I mean the narrative for a long time in the USA was that the French were cowards for their lack of participation in the war.
Right.
So I'm sure that was you're probably right that was probably the original intent.
Yeah, it was all more to make fun of the French. So it was actually because the cat, who was getting the unwanted advances,
always walked under white paint.
Yeah. You know, that was a misunderstanding there. You know, obviously, maybe if isn't there one where Pepe Le Pew gets painted black?
Oh, I don't know.
And then the cat looks at him thinking it's a cat.
Oh.
And then he's all ripped and stuff, and she thinks he's real sexy, and then he's running from her.
Right.
Because I think that was one of the episodes. The point is, it's not against women. The cat's running from him. He's the bad guy, really.
Yeah, as a child, I never ever thought of it. I always wondered why the scent didn't give him away. Like why she should stink like a skunk. I didn't understand that skunks only sprayed when they were scared, but they always had that stink line coming off of Pepe.
Well, Pepe Le Pew always seemed to they made it look like he was always smelling.
So,
and I think it just stays with you. If you spray once, it'll just kind of it'll still have a bit of a stink, I would imagine.
Yeah, I imagine a skunk always has a bit of funk.
Yeah, but I like apparently there's skunks all over. Like, and we have these like ditches because they built this subdivision that I live in. They made us all like islands here,
right? And
they got these ditches on the sides of us. There's no chance of my basement ever getting wet. I'll tell you that because I'm built way
like a moat.
Yeah, like they built me on a fucking island here,
like a castle.
So but it's hard to cut it with your lawnmower. And then
need an alligator.
Yeah. So, anyways, what was I going to say? We're up so high. The skunks. You have to have these culverts under our driveways, and then the skunks live in the culverts. Yeah,
it's probably dry.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like 15 feet of like dry.
15 by 2, 30 square foot place.
Yeah, it's a nice pad for a skunk family. Sure. So they're all up and down the road here. There's this one girl that lives in our subdivision, I guess, somewhere, but she walks the streets at late hours.
Right.
You know?
She gets sprayed?
No, but she sees them all the time.
My experience, they do not give a shit what you're doing unless you startle them.
Yeah, I've come across skunks many times at night when I was drinking, and they don't care
no, it's
at
like
all.
A stinky kitty.
Yeah, they're just on their own programs. But when you see one, you are frightened for your life because you don't want to have any fucking thing to do with them.
They do stink when they get hit by cars, though.
Yeah, I've hit one before. I've hit skunks lots of times actually. And when they get your animals, it sucks. Have you ever had a pet that got sprayed?
No.
Yeah, it sucks, man. We had our cat got into one time, and you got to wash them like crazy, and then they still stink for about a month.
Just throw it in the pool.
The cat?
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done much with this one. My old cat, I saw him get totally drenched twice in his life.
Oh, yeah.
Like where he went right under the water, and it was hilarious both times. Like he hated it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was so mad.
I wonder why they hate it.
I don't know. It's like really shameful for them to get wet. They don't like it. Yeah. The one thing is that most of my cats like hunting in the rain. So they will go out and hunt when it's raining.
Right.
And they come back really wet and dirty. Yeah.
What do they bring back?
One time, a rabbit.
I always find half a rabbits in my backyard from our cat.
In the rain, especially, it seems to be rabbits.
Maybe they're just easier to catch.
I don't know. Yeah, and then chipmunks and birds, and a lot of moles and mice.
We had some ducks in our pool, and
what
ducks? Some ducks landing in our pool, and we put a plastic bald eagle out there, and they're not around no more.
Oh yeah,
no chipmunks, no nothing in the backyard.
Oh yeah, we have a bald eagle. We have a bald eagle that lives in this area somewhere because every once in a while you see it. It's fucking crazy how big it is and like big white head and everything. And I was walking in my forest when it was still snow on the ground, and you could see. I have a picture on my phone. It's like you could see where it came down from the tree and like killed a squirrel.
Oh yeah,
and then like took out all that was left was its like intestines and its like couple organs.
Really.
And then some fur, and then the body was taken away, and there's no footprints, so you knew it had to fly away.
Wow! So
it must have been a bird, and probably was that eagle. I think.
Oh, I thought they would have ate the internals first.
I didn't want the
good stuff.
Didn't want the guts, and didn't want the
kidney
and stuff.
Fussy eaters, I guess.
Yeah, pussies. But like back when, that's amazing though that because we're pretty far from the lake,
right? And
to have the bald eagles spread this far away from the lake, and when we were kids, you wouldn't even see them at the lake. Like there was none of them around here.
No, they're just from America.
Oh yeah, or you could see them up north if you went up north.
Right.
You'd see them in Canada, but we wouldn't see very many because But now they're really making a comeback around here. It's
Mhm.
awesome to see.
Lots
They're ridiculously like crazy to see.
Strong. They got like they're ripped,
Yeah, they're like ripped.
like the
yeah.
bodybuilder of birds.
Yeah. You know what? I've seen bald eagles ever around here, but I've never in my lifetime seen a beaver.
No.
No, I've seen beaver dams, but I've never seen a beaver.
I don't think I've ever seen a beaver either.
No?
No.
Oh, see? And everyone just thinks that we see beaver. Have you seen a moose in real life?
I don't think so. I want to say I saw one at Algonquin, but I don't think I did. I'd shit my pants if I saw one of those for real.
Yeah, like I've been with one time we went up north with my family to a cottage, and my brother and my parents saw a moose, and then one time I went to Newfoundland, and there was 2 carloads of us, and the other car saw a moose, but I've never seen one yet.
No.
I've never seen a moose, and I've never seen a beaver, and I'm supposed to be Canadian, and I've never seen either of those things.
I don't even recall seeing a loon, to be truthful.
Oh, I've seen. I've seen a loon. Yeah, definitely.
I've never seen a tune, whatever that
a
is.
tune. Yeah, I've never seen a tune.
$2 coin.
Never seen a tune, but I've never seen. I've seen polar bears at the zoo or whatever, but anything that we're known, but I've seen the American national bird or
Up here
animal.
a lot.
I've seen that a lot.
Eagle.
I haven't seen any of our national stuff ever, but I know they're here.
Like the emblem for Harley Davidson too, I think.
Is an
that
eagle?
eagle, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. And the Germans like the eagle too, I think.
Yes, they did.
So we were supposed to talk about bar fights, Kev.
All right.
And the reason I was talking about, I was thinking about violence. I was thinking about how violent my life was compared to my kids, what they have to put up with. And there's the obvious, violence. You'd see, there was, you could beat your kids, right? That's
well, we saw that for sure.
We saw,
our generation, yeah.
Yeah, you could pretty much get beat by anyone in the general public. Your parents would be cool with it. They would assume you did something to deserve it.
Yeah, if you came home and said you got hit by the neighbor's mom 2 doors down, there would be no going to the neighbor's mom. She'd be like, well, what'd you do?
Yeah. Yeah, if the bus driver slapped me in the face, my parents would probably be like, "You must have really pissed off the bus driver.
Yeah, why were you bugging the bus driver?
Leave her alone." It would. It's quite a bit different nowadays. So that was one violence you'd see, and then you'd see I think about school fights, high school fights and stuff like that. It's quite common that I'd see fights,
Yeah, a lot of hallway quick fights.
Yeah, there's a couple I remember waiting for the bus kind of fights. When you're gonna get on the bus, I'll beat you up, and it'll be like a fight. Everyone will be crowded around.
Shit your pants all day long, waiting for your beating.
Oh yeah. My buddy, one time there was me, Charters, and this guy Jeff.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, and we were riding this bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this big Indian guy, from India, and he was following us, right? Following our bus, right?
Right.
And we'd been playing this game on the bus where we had to, either flip off or moon or do something to the car behind us or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was his turn or whatever. So we're like, do it. It's your turn to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
So he does it, and it's this guy that goes to our school who's a couple grades older than us, and he's big. He's like a man,
right?
And so then we got to school, and then the guy told him you're basically going to get your ass kicked at the end of school when you go to get back on your bus.
He said this to the Jeff guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
When we got to school, and the whole day he's shitting his pants.
He was.
Yeah, he's a big guy too, but he was. At that time, he was basically tall and skinny,
right? Yeah,
and he had never been really truly
tested.
Sure. Yeah, and he hadn't filled out like he is now. But in those days, even I punched him in the face one time, and then I get quiet him down,
Yeah.
But so he was pretty scared. But then he did fight, and I remember he lost and everything, but he got on the bus after the fight, and he didn't feel that bad. You know what I mean?
He had that respect for
and then
doing it.
And I think then after that, then he wasn't like so worried about getting in a fight again.
Well, like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true. And I remember even with me, like I used to fight when I was young, like just sport-wise, really.
Mm-hmm.
And
you had a worthy opponent. Like Paul was a worthy opponent.
Well, I don't know. I was 3 years older than my brother, so at the beginning I was more just like throwing him around, you know. But after a while, he got big enough. I had to learn how to take a punch because he clobbed me a few times pretty good. But it was like, it wasn't. By the time we became an even match,
yeah,
we did too much damage in the house, and then my mom was like,
she put the stop to the fight.
She said stop it. We couldn't do it anymore for my mom's sake. You know?
need an octagon in your backyard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My brother,
or a cage, WWE style.
He's got such good. I don't care how old he gets or how broken down he gets. Either one of us, the will between. It would be a great fight no matter what.
Yeah,
because I don't think either one of us would want to give the other one that much. You know, that's the thing about brothers. If the guy's got a brother close in age, they're usually tough. You know.
Yeah, you're scrapping. Especially the younger one's gonna come up.
Yeah, the younger one usually, you know, and if they're really close, then it could go either way.
I haven't seen Paul in a while, but I'm assuming he has like canned hams for hands.
Oh yeah, like frying pans, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, and he's probably got some good construction strength to him.
Yeah, he's just always done work, you know. So he's like way stronger than he. But I think
so. It'd be a head crushing punch if he got you.
Oh yeah, my brother's one trick pony. I've said this on the air before. I've totally called him out. He comes with an overhand right. It's only an overhand right. He's a big punch. You just got to miss that big punch. If he gets you with it, you're going to have a little sleep
staggered.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting up because it hurts. It really does pack a wall up.
I think Paulie might be faking the overhand right once in a while from now on.
I tell him openly. I know his trick, overhand right. I tell him openly.
He's like, I'm going to fucking crush you with that punch.
When he's mad, though, his instinct's overhand right. He's got to train to come at me with something different.
Fair.
Come at me with an uppercut. Come at me with a shot to the gut. You know, when you see it coming.
Steel chair. Whatever.
But I know now from because when he does come at you, it was last time he tried to fight me, I was already doing the podcast. So in the last 7 years, he tried to fight me.
Right.
It was at my neighbor's place. We were building a deck for him, or Paul was building a deck for him, and I was sitting around doing fuck all. And then I kept saying, like, why don't you let me do more? And then so eventually I got sick of it, and then Paul got sick of me
bugging him
the way I was being sick of it.
Yeah.
And he decided it's not time for talking. And he come charging at me, and I remember, because it was quite a bit of distance, there's probably like 20 feet between the two of us. And then he comes charging at me, and he's already got this hand cocked.
Oh,
right?
The overhand right was coming. Like the Big Show.
But he's coming like from like 20 feet away with his hand cocked. You know what he's up to, you know?
You telegraphed it.
I got the impression from that. And then, so like all I knew is like tie up the hand, and then you had to I twist him up into my wrestling shit. And then then that really gets him really mad. And then you can't let him go until he calms down or until he promises he's not going to hit you.
Break you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was, I couldn't believe that. Like, as he was coming at me, I'm like, really? I'm going to have to fight as in my 40s? You know, luckily it got broken up quick. And the guy we were building the deck for was really hurt by the whole thing.
Oh, do you think it was his fault, or he was just
he was thought that it was just this silly job for him. It came between two brothers, and he's a real family guy, and he just a sweetheart, eh?
Yeah.
And he just felt bad about it. I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll be over it. We were over it like within an hour.
Yeah.
My brother and I. I don't think we're gonna hold grudges at this point in our lives. So I didn't fight in high school because I went to a city school.
Right.
And I was thinking they had guns or knives or something. And I didn't. So I was scared. And then I was in my 20s. Like, I went through university, and I'd be in fight. Like, I'd be in amongst my friends fighting.
In a melee.
But not me.
You weren't, throwing punches?
I was mostly just trying to break things up, and grabbing a guy. Like, I wasn't really actively part of it. So I'd see a lot of fights. But then it wasn't until I was just about to get married. It was Waterford Pride Whiskey Night. We did these things. There's 3 of us from Waterford that went to the city school in Brantford, and we had we called ourselves Waterford Pride.
Nice.
And we had this things called Waterford Pride Whiskey Night.
Yeah.
And we would first time we just drank a bottle of whiskey and went got hats made when we were drunk.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Still got it?
And then somewhere, yeah, I still do have it. And then the next time we got drunk and went to a Christmas party at the Waterford Legion.
Ooh.
Where I remember we were coming in smoking cigars, and then we got kicked out, and then I broke back in. We came back in, and then we got kicked out again, and they called the cops to get us.
Right.
And then we got fined for damages.
What?
Yeah, because apparently I tried to take the flag out of the
case
stand to show my patriotism, and I poked it through the ceiling.
Oh, shit.
So we had to pay for that.
Pay for a drop tile or...
Yeah, it was bad, though, because Dave's dad is like a Legion guy.
Uh-oh.
And
so he was obviously part of the pride.
And like he was like, you guys disgraced the Legion, you know, like that's like disgracing the soldiers, you know, like disrespecting the soldiers, you know.
Yeah.
I think I said disregrace or some fucking thing. I mixed up 2 words.
Sorry.
Disrespect the soldiers or whatever. And we're like, no, we
just wanted to drink.
And it wasn't in the Legion, it was in the hall. That's different, I guess.
Technicalities.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we've found peace with Jim based on that.
Yeah.
So that, but we felt bad about it. We were in big trouble. And then our buddy planned the event, and we wrecked it.
Oh no.
So then we had to go and make it up with him too, because he was pissed off at us. That was bad. But no fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next whiskey night, I was just about to get married.
Right.
So we said, let's have one whiskey night before Pete gets married. So we go to London, and we go to this martini bar. We went to my buddy's house who lived in London, and then we drank whiskey there. And then we went to this martini bar. We're playing pool, and we're being obnoxious assholes the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Playing pool. I remember playing pool with this guy, and it was like he scratched off the break.
Right.
You know? And so we said, that's it. We win. Like, we got the money.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, no, that's not right. Like, that's not the end of the game. And then Jeff throws his pool cue on the table and, like, ruins the table.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the game. And takes the money. And then everyone was really mad. And it was like a brouhaha. And I'm like, we're definitely going to get in a fight. And then that calmed down. And then we had another one. And, like, it was a constant, like, us getting in the martini bar. We're getting into constant almost fights.
Yeah.
And then we go to leave, and my winter coat, which I had this, like, it was kind of like a lambskin coat. I found it at a secondhand shop. It just looked like old school cool, you know. I really liked it. And it got stolen. I was just in a real bad mood.
Uh-oh.
Because someone took my coat. So my buddy Jeff steals this girl's coat. It's like it's a red Columbia jacket, and he gives it to me. It's a girl's, though. It's way too small for me. And so I'm wearing this little red jacket, and we're going through freezing rain, like it's leaving, and we pass this coffee shop, and there's a bunch of these like Lebanese kids that are like getting coffees.
Yeah.
And Jeff asked the one guy, he goes, "What do you think of my buddy's jacket?"
Oh, no.
And the guy says, "I think he looks like Little Red Riding Hood," like that. So I say, to hell with this jacket. You know, I take off the jacket and I throw it to the ground.
Yeah.
Well, he takes that as a sign of aggression.
Oh, the gloves are off.
Yeah, gloves are off. And so he grabs my sweater. I just got the sweater for my cousin Kelly for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And he rips the sweater and then punches me in the nose, and my nose just like bleeding everywhere.
Right.
And I'm like walking away with my 2 friends, Dave and Jeff, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And they're like, that guy just punched you in the face. And so I just was like, what?
You went back.
And then I go back. He's getting congratulated by his buddies.
Yeah.
And I go into the scrum. Like, I go walking up to him in the scrum and just, clock him, right?
Yeah.
And when I clocked him, it was freezing rain and stuff. I lost my balance and fell.
Shit. Yeah.
And then they just started kicking me, you know, like
a 3-on-1?
Oh, there was a lot more than 3.
Oh.
It was a whole bunch of buddies, and there was a lot of them. I don't even know how many there were, they weren't big, but there was just so many of them, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember I was getting kicked like in the head and the ribs and stuff, and they're like, I can hear my friends trying to stop it.
Yeah.
And then I remember at one point in time, Jeff, we all had it was like kind of like, you know, like we all have our shames from this night. We all have our own shame.
Yep.
My one friend Jeff, I could hear him. He worked at Aldo's Shoes at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point he starts like saying, "Hey, I'll give you guys like
oh no,
like
free shoes,
coupons off of your shoes if you stop beating up my friend." And my other friend Dave, he ran away to call the police.
Oh no,
right? So that wasn't helpful.
No.
And at the time when I was getting kicked,
right?
And then so then eventually. I had an opportunity to get away, and then they, to their credit, both of them were throwing hands.
They're trying to help.
Yeah, they both at one time were throwing hands with those people trying to get them off me. And at one time they got them off me enough, and I ran away. And they were like, "Go, go, go! They just want you." So then, so then I ran away. And I go to my buddy's house. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. My face is just a
puffball,
fucking mess. You know, like I'm unrecognizable. I gotta get married in like 2 weeks. You know,
it's like The Hangover.
Oh man, I was like, oh, I don't know how if this is gonna clear up.
Yeah.
Luckily, you couldn't tell at my wedding, but I was still in pain at my wedding from it. But anyways, I go home. I go to like this guy's house, and then I'm waiting. My friends aren't coming back. Right? So then I go back, and I can see my friends. They're getting loaded into a cop car.
Oh fuck!
Because the cops that Dave called were coming, but they saw like Dave and Jeff look like they didn't have a scratch on them, and these Lebanese kids were like they look like ground beef. You know, some of them did. You know.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to tell the story like, no, you're going after the wrong guys. And the Lebanese kids are saying that my buddies jumped them. And so their story's not checking out. So they're getting loaded in the car. And then I'm just coming in saying like, what's going on?
And you look like shit.
Yeah, and I still look like shit. So the cop goes, is this your friend? And then they go, yeah, that's him. And they go, okay, your story checks out. You guys can go home.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we went home. And that was my first time being in a real fight. And I got my ass kicked.
Right.
Like, I got really badly beat up. And you know what? I remember at that point in time thinking, like, why didn't I fight more?
Right.
And that's stupid, eh? But I remembered, like, I wouldn't have been afraid if I had gotten got my ass kicked, like, in grade 9 or something like that. I probably would have fought people.
All through high school.
Yep. I would have been, like, one of those guys that would have been at a bush party that would have been looking for a fight because it would have been fun to get into one or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's the fear of the pain you're going to go through.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been afraid if some guy was being a dick to me. I wouldn't have pussed out like I did a bunch of times. But I don't know if that's the right or wrong thing because, like, the right thing to do, obviously, if you're thinking as a logical human being, is not to
avoid it.
To avoid it, right?
Yeah. You
don't want to fight. And I really am a pacifist at heart. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be pushed around either.
I remember second sandbar one night. This guy was, I think he was a Delhi guy, was being a little bit aggressive with everybody on the dance floor or whatever. And I remember saying to him, like, calm down. He punched me in the face and hid.
He hid
right away, and it hurt, but I didn't know, like, it hurt. And I told him that the girl I was standing beside had hit me harder. And but it really hurt.
Yeah.
And the bouncers threw him out, and I still to this day I'm like, why couldn't I have hit that guy back?
Yeah,
I wonder, but
it wouldn't have got you anywhere. But you know, I don't know. At certain times when I have punched this person in the face, it's helped, and that's a bad
it's therapeutic
example to teach people. It's not the way of the world nowadays, but like as I said, like back in those days, it was quite commonplace that there was violence, and you had to kind of know what to do.
Right. But to break it down, everything's all about talking out your feelings now, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But you could get in a fight. You and I could have gotten in a fight in grade school, which we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
And a week later, we could have been, probably not even a week later, a day later, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
No pent-up aggression, no whatever.
No, I don't think it would hold it because I always looked at it more like sport, though.
Yeah.
Like it was more like sport. And I think if you, even for some of those guys that went into being bouncers, at the Turkey Point Hotel or whatever, and you'd see them like stretching before like the night at the bar.
Oh, yeah. Just they wanted to go beat people up.
Yeah. But there were people that went to the bar like with the intent to fight the bouncer eventually.
Yep.
And like it was kind of its own subculture, I guess, like its own little like.
And they used to get those bouncers used to get guys to go start shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just so they could.
Well, I remember my wife worked at the Turkey Point Hotel when I was dating her, like when we were young, and she was like she's only like 5'2", 5'3", she's a tiny little thing. And she'd be carrying trays of drinks through this crowded bar.
Right.
Full of like, and you knew as the summer went on, especially as the summer went on, these people had gone and been cooped up in the same hot room with the same people, the same guy that tried to hit on your girlfriend. Yeah. There he is again,
Yep.
The same guy that bumped into you, that spilled a drink on you, whatever. Like, the familiarity over time of you going to the same bar every weekend, you're like by the end of summer there's like fights breaking out constantly. It's just like one after another. And my wife, if she was walking through the fucking tray of drinks and a big fight broke out and they knocked the drinks over, she had to pay for all those drinks out of her own pocket.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I would sit there and I was basically there to drink. I didn't work there, but my wife did, or my girlfriend did at the time. So the bouncers all knew me and they all kind of gave me a little bit more leeway because I was with the waitress. So I could get away with stuff that other people didn't and that. But like you'd see guys that would do something that I would do without thinking twice about, get their asses just fucking handed to them, you know?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, whoa, I got away with that. And most of those bouncers, like I ended up thinking were pretty nice guys. Like they always were to me.
Yep.
But then you'd see them just like, they were just killers, man. They were real.
I remember those guys because they all worked at the same gym in Simcoe.
Yeah.
And I used to go to that gym and it was the best knowing who they were.
Yeah, it's
right?
better. Yeah. Oh, I know, man. Some of those guys were like, their reputations were legendary. Like we heard about them in grade school, and you would just hear about these legendary tough guys, you know.
Yeah.
And then over time, you'd start to see them in action, and you'd be like, oh fuck,
yeah, vicious,
vicious. Certain amount of it, it's like it's not about the biggest guy.
No,
rarely the biggest guy is the toughest guy. It's usually some smaller dude that
quiet,
just
wiry guy
that's got some sort of like quick twitch strength in his muscles and he's like doesn't feel pain like a normal person.
Or his dad put him in jiu-jitsu as a kid and
beat the crap out of him with a wire brush or something.
Yeah, it's bath time, boy.
Yeah, like you don't know. There's some real nut jobs out there, but like I remember there's some guys like this.
Did you try and talk your way out of a lot of stuff or no?
Yeah, I totally, that was my thing.
I remember like in the winter, and I think it was at Coco's Roadhouse, one of those times.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who we grew up with was like pissed off at whatever I was doing. And he's like, let's go outside. And I'm like, it's too cold outside. Because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember I went to a high school dance at Delhi High School. This is when the first time I went with this girl and had a dude that just got out of jail, and he wanted to beat me up because I was
different
from out of town and dating one of their girls. And the second time I went with what is now my wife, and I had a lineup of 3 guys that wanted to kick my ass, all because of the same reason.
Well, yeah, you took one of their girls.
Took one of their girls away, and I know all those people now. Some of them are. Like
all right,
super sweetheart of guys. They were just looking out for for Jane because they liked her.
Yep.
They didn't know what kind of guy I was, you know. But I mean, I never had to fight. I talked my way out of all of them, and I was usually able, because I actually was from the area. I could find someone in common
Right.
that could vouch for me pretty quick. You know?
Sure.
But
Good.
a lot of times, this is the every time we got in big trouble, like the whiskey night is a great example, the one I just told you about.
Right.
I hung out with my friends, and they were assholes. Both those two friends that I was telling you about, 90% of the time, they were the problem.
Yeah.
And I was the driver. I was the one that was, like, talking the people who wanted to kill him down.
Yep.
And then, like, kind of, like, smoothing things out and get them out of there, right? And when I would say, okay, tonight you guys are taking care of me,
That just didn't work out.
that's the nights we got into trouble because they did not do that. They didn't have that in them.
I will drink too.
Yeah. I was just telling my kids today, or my one daughter today, about when I went to Cake, because I was listening to Cake, and I was like, I can't wait to see Cake again. This time I want to see him when I'm not blacked out. But I went on stage with him, and I was explaining how I blacked out at this festival, and then I ended up, like, coming to, kind of, waiting in the, like, Uber lineup to get your Uber to go to your place.
Yeah.
And I got in the wrong one, and the guy says, "Are you Mike?" And I said, "Yeah."
And he just took you where Mike was going?
In a group Uber with other people. Yeah, and they dropped me off at the wrong end of town, and then they let me go. And I could see the CNN sign. It was pretty far away, but I could see it. And I knew that was where my hotel is. So I just started walking in. But when we got there, and me and Charles were coming out of the airport, and we're taking the car from the airport, and the lady in the car says, "Whatever you do, don't get lost in Atlanta. Don't walk the streets alone, because like guys like you can get in shit."
Exactly what you're doing.
And I'm doing the exact thing, and then Dave's like calls me. He's like, "Where are you? We're looking all over for you." And I'm like, "I'm just walking through the city alone, like doing the
don't panic,
doing the thing that you said not to do." And he's like, Dave's like, "That's what she said not to do." Like he was really worried.
You're like, "Yeah, well, I'm doing it."
And I'm like, "Well, I can't stop doing it." Like,
you want me to sit down?
Yeah. So he was super concerned. Like, so I think the Dave of today,
right,
would take care of me. I think I'm a problem. I may be too much to take care of. I agree with that. But I think he's more likely to try to take care of me now than he was then. Then 0% chance. Now I bet you I'm 50-50 depending on how drunk he is. Is whether he'd take care of me. But then, piece of garbage, he would not do it.
Piece of garbage.
He's definitely not, would not do anything to take care of me. But anyways, that's it for, sorry, what was I saying? That's the nights that they had to take care of me, they're no good at all.
Right.
Yeah, every single one where I get into trouble is the big trouble we got into. Yeah.
So they were like little incidents, and you were like, "I'm going for it because I'm always fucking taking care of them."
Yeah. Anyways, I have to piss so bad, and I wanted to end on a good story, but I don't have one now.
Oh, what are we gonna do? We can do a short one. We've done hour-and-a-half ones, almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I got to rock a piss now. But one more. Anyways, man, I can't even hold it.
You can't hold it.
All right, I'm gonna. I have to go.
He's just gonna make me talk. All right. Well, Pete's taking a piss. Hopefully, he pushes that out quick. I could talk charters, I guess, if I wanted to. I don't know. This isn't as easy as Pete makes it look. I can go through some sound effects, I suppose. So, charters. What else do we got from charters? All the sound effects have changed here. What can I do?
Can you believe that?
That's a charters one. Let's see what this one is.
One of the most embarrassing childhood memories, I think.
All right. And we'll go to the one other thing that charters is...
I have a soft spot for Mexicans.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope he finishes pissing quick, because I'm not good at... Here he comes.
That was like the longest piss ever, man.
Yeah, that's not as easy as you make it look.
Holy Christ, is that a long piss?
I just babbled and did sound effects. You can take it all out.
Oh, yeah, I will. Yeah, I know I don't even care. I want to just say we'll just do the one. I'll say like there's like one fight story. I got one. I got one. This is what we'll end with. Okay.
All right.
This is I was in Guelph, University of Guelph, and there's this place in the University of Guelph called the Keg. We call it the Keg, but it's I think called the Brass Taps or something is what it really says on the sign, but everyone calls it the Keg.
Is that
right?
a university pub?
University pub, right? Just a pub, like a sit around and talk, listen to music kind of pub. You
Drink
know,
pitchers of beer.
pitchers of beer. It smells like vomit in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the second floor of the university center, which is unfortunate if you get kicked out of the place because they can throw you down the stairs, right?
Oh. Wow.
So, anyways, we're in the Keg, and my buddy Gabe has a friend from Huntsville, where he's from.
Right.
Pete, that's down. A good guy, great guy, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete's a bit of a live wire, and so is my buddy Gabe, right?
Right.
And Gabe has a real prejudice against jocks, against like hockey guys, or because I guess in Huntsville he was like kind of a hippie or whatever, like kind of long hair, like
I met this guy before.
different sort of fella, and the
Skip
jocks used to bother him, and then he would never back down from a fight with them. He loved fighting this guy, you know,
Mhm.
just loved fighting. And anyways, so Gabe's got his buddy down from home, so he's got a bit of backup. He's drinking. He's got a bit more swagger than he normally does.
Right.
Things are looking like Gabe's looking to start some trouble, you know? So we're all kind of hyper aware of it, right?
Yeah.
So we can see this group of these big athletic looking dudes come
Mhm.
in, and Gabe is around them, and you can see that they're starting to talk to each other, and then you can kind of see that Gabe is lipping, like he's
looking for trouble.
he's doing a lot more talking than he should be. So I say to Pete, like, it looks like Gabe's about to get into trouble over there. So we get up to go make sure he's not going to be outnumbered.
Right.
And Pete walks right up.
I think I like where this is going.
Pete walks right up to this dude. Like he's sizably. Gabe is now squared off against the biggest one of their friends.
Right.
And they're in each other's faces. And Gabe is way smaller than this dude. And Pete comes out of nowhere and grabs this guy by his face
Mm-hmm.
and kisses him right on the lips.
Oh.
Like right on the lips. Like holds his face into his face.
Didn't see this coming.
And I am sitting there dumbfounded, like completely blindsided by it, right? And as soon as he does it, I think even Gabe was startled by it, you know, like he didn't even, like he was disarmed by it.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the guy kind of like, the guy who got kissed. Oh, shit. I'm telling the story all wrong. I'm telling it completely wrong. Isn't that funny when you think back? That's not what happened at all. This is what happened. Gabe's lipping with this guy.
Right.
And then Pete goes in to like help out his friend.
Right.
That's what it was. And then he starts saying stuff like that's more like a kind of like homophobic
Right.
kind of slurs to the guy. But he's saying how he's going to do gay things to him, I think. That's how it was.
Right.
At which time, one of this dude's big buddies comes up and kisses Pete straight on the lips.
Oh.
And it's a long kiss.
Was it for real?
No, it wasn't a for real. It was still like a hold your face and make you kiss.
Oh, okay.
But it was done to like stop this guy because he was kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of getting a little nut. And I remember it was Pete then that kind of was stunned
Mm-hmm.
because he had gotten kissed on the lips.
Yeah.
And he was stunned.
And
And
Pete was the one saying he was going to do all the
he was the one
homophobic
doing
things.
the gay things to the
Yeah.
guy. And then his friend comes and kisses him. Then Pete just kind of like startled for a bit and then just starts swinging, you know? and then so it's just a melee, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's swinging. And I remember like the bouncers are pulling Pete out and the guy's like, he stuck his tongue down my throat. He, like, you know, Pete's like really adamant. They throw him down the stairs and that. And then literally like he dusts himself off at the bottom of the steps.
Right.
And then we kind of like get walking, and he's like so like where next? Like,
just like nothing happened.
like nothing happened at
Wow.
all. Like the whole incident was like completely nothing.
He can really compartmentalize.
Yeah. I
Like
think
this
it's like he gets in these sort of scrapes all the time.
Huh.
I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He's just like, I'm not even talking about it. In another time, I remember this guy, Billy, that was a friend of mine. He got thrown out of that bar for being a lippy, and he got thrown down the stairs. And then I remember the police were like kind of being rough with him too.
Right.
And then this girl, who is now she's like a Canadian, she's got a real good job with the Canadian government. I think she's like what do you call it when a person goes to another country and they represent our country?
Like a diplomat?
Like a diplomat, yeah.
Right.
She's like a diplomat to a foreign country representing our country. And I remember her at the bottom of the stairs, like mad at the police for the way they were treating her friend.
Right.
And I remember her just yelling at the cops, like,
You can't do this.
yeah. She's saying like, lick my clit.
Oh, not so diplomatic.
Lick, yeah.
Eat me.
Yeah, I wish I could. I don't want her to get in any trouble. But
No.
It's amazing these people, they grow up to be like important people, but when you see them back in the day, they're just like kids, right?
She got her early diplomatic training out of the way, and
yeah, like my clit. I never heard a girl yell that at a person before.
I don't know if I would be offended by that if a girl said that to me.
It's the closest thing that they're trying to do what we do with the old suck my dick thing,
yeah.
but it isn't the same.
Because you'd be like,
Yeah, we know even a girl that loves us is only doing that because they love us, not because they like it.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, Plant Nation, come by one night with my dad and Jay. You're awesome, Pete. Oh, cool. Thank you, Plant Nation. So came by one night with my dad and Jay. Oh, sweet. I gotta figure out who that is. I'll talk later. Anyways, that's our show, I think, for today. We've gotten all the things we said we were going to do done, and we did our time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could, everybody, please tell a friend, share an episode, or give us some feedback at live from the DutchHall@gmail.com or at Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, all that shit. And you can support our Patreon. Oh, Preston. Yes, thank you. And Brent Barber, too. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you guys. So we will, until, I guess that's it. Support our Patreon. It's patreon.com/DutchHall. You can also, if you need some help, please get some help and go to BetterHelp.
And it's easy, man. I clicked on it just to see how easy it is, and it's easy.
It's super easy. You just answer a bunch of questions. They set you up with it. It's betterhelp.com/DutchHall. You got 10% off your first month. And until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday. So bad. I couldn't leave it on that shit story, though. Oh. Anyways, everybody, thanks for listening.